Hello, hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you live from a very wet Montana, Whitefish, Montana. Very, very wet, but it's nice. I'm back to my cooler weather clothes, but it's nice. We needed the rain, so that's awesome. The leaves are perking up on the plants. It got a little toasty. Yesterday was 87. Today is 55. So 30 degree difference. That's pretty amazing. So let's go ahead. This one is going to take a little bit. I'm not going to be able to do the whole kit. All right. I cheated and I took out the instructions already because I was talking to a friend of mine who has done this and was asking her for any tips or tricks because I knew that she had mentioned it before. So it's a good thing that I did. And so I've got a plan on how we're going to do this, but we're not going to be able to do the whole kit. I'm going to be able to do part of it so that when you order it, you'll know what to do, or we can always get together on Zoom and do it together. All right, so let's go ahead and switch. So this one, I have here just a white board. It's one of those project boards that I had, just a smaller one, because I want to be able to move this. And if I have it on my glass mat, I won't be able to just move it out of the way because it may take me a little while to do this. I won't get it all done today myself. So the paper bouquet kit, it's a beautiful flower arrangement, and it's all paper. So on the back, it shows you all the ingredients, tells you the coordinating colors. I know some people have distressed the edges, and I thought about that. I haven't decided if we're going to go there. All right, and then you can see, so there's flower 1, flower 2, flower 3, flower 4, flower 5, flower 6, flower 7. And then we have how to put the flowers on the stems and everything together. And then we have how to put the petals on and how to do the leaves. So what I'm going to do is we're first going to break this down because I think the easiest way to do this will be to break it down into each section so you're not hunting and pecking throughout the whole thing, which is part of the reason why I brought this board over. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look. Here are our wires, and these are the ones that have like that green paper on it, and so they're already covered. It's not just metal, it's the paper covered floral wire, I guess you call it. All right, and then we'll go ahead and take these things out. See, so all I took out was the instructions. Hi, Missy. I just took out the instructions so I could look at it because when she said hot glue gun, I was like, oh, ouch. That always hurts. I'm terrible at glue guns. How are you with a glue gun? Do you burn your fingers? I always burn my fingers. If you are catching this on a replay, go ahead and put replay and let us know where you're watching from. Missy, go ahead and tell us where you're watching from, even though I already know that, but maybe other people don't realize that. All right, so we're going to... So this is all fine paper. It's like tissue paper. It's not cardstock. All right. It's more like tissue paper. And these are all the different, and so there's different layers and different amounts. So that's why I wanted to kind of take this apart together so you could see, and I could give you some of the little tips and tricks that she told me about, and one of them was to lay it out. She said on a big board. I'm going to try and condense it to the smaller board. So number 1 is the white flower, and each flower is different. So number 1 is the white one, and the yellow one is on here. So we're going to take these apart. There's a few different layers of them. I didn't realize it was tissue paper. So there are a few different layers of them. It says 8. So do this. All right. I'm going to look at this picture because, yeah, this is new to me. This is a different kind of kit. Okay, so, all right, so 8 of them makes 1 flower. All right, so we have multiple white flowers on here. So 8 of them makes 1 flower. So let's see how many are in this little stack. So we have 1, 1, 2, 3. No, there's got to be another one. Yep. 4. So 2 stacks. So I'm going to put this back. 2 stacks are 1 flower. Maybe we'll try and make 1 of each flower. I have someone coming over at 2 o'clock. So we're going to put this back in the box. Let's do this. And I've got some things I need to do. I didn't know this was going to be this long. This may have been one that wasn't a great live one, but we're going to give it a go. We're going to get as far as we can get. So 8 of these. So where it says here, times 8, you're going to do 8 of these, or there are 8 flowers. I'm assuming it's 8 of these. That makes more sense because that would give you 3 flowers. Wow. I don't know. June might have done, let's see. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe there's 8. All right. Maybe it just needs the 3. Maybe it just needs 3. I'm a little confused, so you know if I'm a little confused. We're going to go with the 3 because it's showing 1 flower. No, it says 8 because then these say 3 and this says there's 3. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can figure this out. I'm just going to pile the white over here and see. All right, so then we have this one. So there's supposed to be 8 of those flowers. So I guess it is just 3. And then we have 1, 2, 3. All right, so that means there's supposed to be just 1. So 1 flower is what they're showing. 2, 3. And the times is how many of those flowers there are. That's the way I'm reading it. So then we have this one. And there's 1, 2, 3. All right. And then, all right, so then we have these beads. So for 1 flower, it's 1 bead. Okay, so there we go. So we go by the beads because I know from what she told me, each bead goes on 1 flower. So there are 8 of the white flowers. So you just need 3 of the white petals and 1 bead for 1 flower, and then 1 of these and 1 of these. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do 1 flower. So the tools we need, and I should plug in my glue gun. I plugged it in too early and then it was dripping all over the place. So, all right. So we need 1 of those on there, and we need 1 of these here, and we need 1 of the blue ones here. So we're going to do that. And then we need just 1 of these little ones. Oop, this one is 1. 1 of these little ones there. This is for the other one. And then we need the bigger ones for the bigger flowers. There we go, like that. And one like that. All right, so you can see how I'm kind of separating it out. Now, if you were doing this whole kit all at once, so Missy, yes, she is in Bensalem, just north of Philadelphia. She used to say a stone throw away from Philadelphia. Glue guns are not my favorite. I have a glue pot that I can dip things in. Doesn't work for everything, but helps. Oh, I've never heard of a glue pot. That sounds cool. All right, so then we have we're going to go on to the orange one. We have the leaves. Here's the orange one. So we just need 2 of those. 2 of those. So this is empty, so I can recycle that. And I'll put these back in the box. Let's go ahead and go back to those leaves. So we're going to do one of these leaves. So this is a different kind of tissue paper. This is that one that's a little thicker. I think it's called crepe paper. So it's a little thicker and it's all textured. All right, that's one leaf. And these are cardstock leaves. We need 1 of each of those. So we're going to pull these out. So they're cardstock, so they're not coming out quite as easy because they're a little thicker. All right. So Missy, I don't know whether your glue pot would work for this. You'd have to give it a whirl and let us know whether the glue pot worked for this. And then we have these leaves. So this, interesting that this is so much thicker. But I guess leaves are a different texture even on real plants. So we'll do that. All right, so we have our 3 leaves. We have our 4 flowers. This one gets a dark bead. And we need another one of these for this one. All right, there we go. Whew. All right, so let's go to this one. It just there's 3 of them, 3 of the flowers, and then 3 petals. So besides a glue gun, you're also going to want to have a bone folder for this, and you'll see why. We're going to curl them a little bit. I did bring over my scissors, my trusty scissors, and my take your pick tool just in case. And then because I'm dealing with wire, I brought over my needle nose pliers because you just never know. That was one of her suggestions as well. And then this one is also 3 flowers, and then of course 3 petals. So each flower is 3 petals. So 1, 2, and 3. We'll put that there. And then a yellow bead. All right, and that's it for the flowers and the beads. And now we're going to go back. Well, we'll go backwards, and we want this right here. This is the center of the flower. And one of the tips that she did share, her name is Yarmila, one of the tips she shared was to keep the skeleton part of this just in case you needed a little more, because the skeleton looks almost exactly like the other one, right? So we're going to take this out, and this is the bigger one. So we're separating, and this is kind of like, this is that crepe paper again, like that one leaf. So it's textured. It looks like it's been crumpled and put back together. All right, so this one, this longer one goes with this flower. And then let's see, where's our other thing? Here we go. And then, oh, just that flower. The longer one goes with, and then there's a shorter one that has, so we can pull this apart. So she's saying keep this that's all stuck together because you might need it. And the skeleton and the regular look about the same. Oh, those are shorter ones. Okay. So this one goes with this. And then it also goes with this. And then these can all go in the box. And then we have our yellow ones. So this one and those two. So where are my shorter? Here are my shorter ones. So we're pulling these apart carefully, very, very carefully. So it's all very delicate. So you definitely don't want to be yanking on anything. So we need this small one over here, and then this small one over here. We'll put that in there, and then we need a long one. Let's see. Yeah, we need the big long one. I think that middle one might be, I'll have to see. Hang on. I should probably just get off my chair. There we go. It's a little better for my back. And carefully pull those apart. So this is quite the kit. This is quite the kit. But once you put a few flowers together, then they're all the same, right? So you don't have to worry. So this one goes with this, and we'll look, yeah, I think this middle one, there's one right here, and it goes all the way. So I think this one actually goes with that, because it's smaller but longer. Oh no, it's one of the smaller ones. Okay, I am corrected. All right, so we've got everything separated out. So we have one of everything. So we'll see how we go on time and do one of everything. I'm going to start with the things that are the easiest, which I think is going to be the leaves. I think it's going to be the leaves. So we have these. We're going to take that off and just take one out for now. Just take one out at a time. All right, we're going to, I'll zoom in for you on the leaves. Leaves. All right. So first thing we want to do is crease them. All right, so you want to, there's a fold right there, and you want to fold along that score line. All right, so you want to fold along that score line. It's not something where you can just fold it in half. All right, but you want to fold like this. Yeah, it's pouring outside. It's just raining and raining and raining. It's supposed to rain all day long. What an awesome soak we are getting. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing with this one. I'm just kind of using what thumbnail I have to kind of push it in, as you can see. And this one goes all the way down. All right, so all the way through that little stem. So you're just kind of folding it. All right, so here we go. Just folding it like this. All right, and then there's going to be this one. I'm trying to see better in the light. So there we go. This one's on a curve. So you want to kind of curve with it. All right. But, you know, no leaves are perfectly flat, so of course you don't want these to be perfectly flat either. So then we want to do the same thing with these. We're going to curve this in. All right, like this. And then we'll curve this one in. We'll do the middle one last this time. Okay. And then fold this in. All right. That one's almost a little more centered, so you can kind of almost fold it in half, but we're not going for the half. We're just going for some texture and some dimension, or not texture, for some dimension. All right. So there we go, like that. And then this one, you want to crease. So this one you're essentially going to fold in half, like that. All right. There you go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue on here, and she recommended about 2 inches from the top, so we're going to go with her recommendation. So I have my glue. You can see I need to put more in there. One thing I saw somewhere on YouTube or Facebook, put a little bit of glue, hot glue on the end here, and then stick it here. And that way, when you're gluing, let me squeeze it over here, it will catch. All right, so we're going to put a bead of glue. Come on. All along here. And where's our, here we go. And we're going to stick our stem, oop, in there. All right, so you want to stick it into, all right, so that's where I'm going to use my pliers. Do I want to use my pliers? No, I'm going to use my take your pick tool and glue that in there. It doesn't look like I got enough glue on that part. So you want to make sure you get a full and complete bead of glue along there. Looks like I didn't quite get that down. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Like that. There we go. All right, so there's that one, and then you're going to just kind of curl that a little bit because, you know, stems are never perfectly straight. So there's that one. I'm going to set that aside. Then we're going to do this one. And this one we're only going to go about halfway up. This time I'll make sure I have enough glue. Here we go. Ooh, I forgot to take one of these out. Let's see. So, have you played with this kit yet? Or if you haven't, have you thought about it? Were you afraid to? Now that you're seeing me do it, are you like, oh yeah, I totally want this? Or are you like, no way, not for me, June? Which one are you? All right, so the beauty of the hot glue is that it will come off of this really easy. So there, so we have that one done. Cool. And then we have our next one. Now they're suggesting you put the glue on this. I think that would be very difficult to do. So I am putting it on the paper. Now this one you want to do less than halfway. You don't want to go the whole way. You just need to go about less than halfway. That way it kind of curls on its own. So down that middle, and then put your wire right in it. You want to use your, take your pick tool. It's perfect for everything to hold it down. And you know, as soon as it's cool, it's good to go. All right, it's good to go. So, very nice. So we've got our leaves. All right, now we get into the trickier part, as is my understanding. We have our instructions here. All right, you're going to take your wire, you're going to curl the one end, and this is where your pliers come in handy. So go raid your husband's toolbox. These are actually out of my own toolbox. When I left home, my mother gave me some. Not sure this one is for you, Missy. Great ideas using the take your pick tool, right? The take your pick tool. It's our lifesaver. It is. So we're going to take this bead. We'll do, let's see. We'll do the big flower first. You're going to take this bead on here, and then you're going to smush this together. The bead is giving you something to glue this to. All right, so you're not even going to see it. And I'm not going to say that I'm totally coordinated with my needle nose pliers. So, but let's see if I can get this to work. All right, come on. So you want to wrap it around. So if you hold on to the bead, it's easier to get that to wrap around like that. And all you have to do is pinch it shut. Okay, it doesn't have to be wrapped around and around. You just need something to glue that paper onto. So I'm gonna kind of flatten this out a little bit. All right, like that. And then put it upright. So it's like that, because you want to be able to glue your paper. You're going to put your paper on there and you're going to have to glue it. So now you're going to add glue to your bead. Add glue to your bead, and then you're going to put your paper on it and bring it around and cover that bead. And that's where it gets a little bit hot. All right, a little bit hot. At least that was partially cooled. All right, so here we go. Yeah. So I'm kind of asking myself why I picked this one. I should have looked at the video or something, because I don't know if I would have picked it. But I said yesterday I was going to do it, so I had to do it. So here we go. So bring it around like this. All right, trying to keep the bottom kind of level, kind of touching it to make it connect, but you don't have to squeeze it hard, okay? And you definitely don't have to touch the hot glue. All right, so we're going to come around like this. So I'm always going all the way around to the next one. All right, and just kind of tapping it. All right, it's not going to be perfect, We're not expecting perfect. It's handmade. It shouldn't be perfect. If it was perfect, it wouldn't be handmade. So we're just coming around like that. All right. And then keep coming around the paper like that. There we go. Like that. And we're just wrapping it, and it is the center of our flower. All right, so this really isn't, this is actually going much better than I thought it would. Oh, so that's not so bad. It's not bad. This has not been bad at all. I just heard the word hot glue gun and panicked. How many of you panic? Hi, Kathy. Great to see you on here. We are building a flower, and we are using our beloved, sarcastically said, beloved hot glue gun. Eek. But I just barely burnt myself, so I've actually been doing better than I've ever done with a hot glue gun before. Because normally, I've burnt myself 10 times by now, but it's been good. It's actually been good. So, ouch. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. You knew that was going to happen too, right? As soon as I said it, I was going to jinx myself and touch that darn hot glue. All right, so here we have just a little bit left on this one center. I don't know how far it goes, so I don't want to put too much on there. Oh, almost. Almost just a little more. Okay. There we go. And I've just lately been just tapping it. And it's okay that there's the glue under there. It's totally okay. There we go. We have our center of our flower. All right, so we're gonna let that cool while we do another one. Woohoo! Here we go. Let's do one of the yellow centers. All right, so first we have to curl. Take our needle nose pliers, curl, stick our bead on there. We're going to squeeze it together. And then this has to go over that and come around at least once, at least one fold. I think. I don't think you need a bunch of folds. I think one fold is sufficient because then you're going to have all that hot glue on there anyways. Let's see. I do. There we go. Ah, got it. See, and the more we do, the more it's going to get easier. And then we just want to bend this up so we have something to wrap it around. All right, like that. All right. Now, I don't know if that's how they're doing it, but that's how I'm doing it. So, here we go. Let's get started. Some of that glue. Lovely glue. Glue. All right, so this first one I think is where I burnt myself last time. And I'm going to use the wrinkly end and just gently bring it around. See, there is no reason to burn myself. I see string. There we go. All right, and then we'll just keep going. So this isn't so bad. This really isn't so bad. I thought it was going to be way worse. Like I said, I heard the word hot glue gun and I was like, oh no, why did I pick this kit? I can tell you why I picked this kit, because my new kits still haven't come in and I've been putting this off and putting this off and putting this off, and it was time to do it. So we're doing it, and it's really not that bad. It really is not that bad. Remember, there's no point in worrying about trying to be perfect. And I'm just tapping it. I mean, the paper is picking up that glue. Here we go. So I'm just tapping it along. All right, if you're really proficient with a glue gun, then this is going to be easy peasy for you. Easy peasy. All right, here we go. Now I notice I'll fix that later, but I notice I'm kind of at an angle, but flowers aren't always sitting perfect either, so maybe I won't fix that. Ooh, that came out in a rush. All right. And yes, there's some on the bottom, but that's okay. It's not going to be seen because our petals are going to go up and hide that. So we don't have to worry about that. Now I do need to set that down for a minute because my glue stick came unglued. And now I need it in there. So we're going to stick that in there. We're going to glue it like that so that it actually goes this time. All right, so we'll go back to this and gluing. So, what kind of flowers do you have in your house? Is it real only? Do you have some artificial? I put plastic on the thing. I meant artificial. But you know, most of the artificial ones are, well, some of the artificial ones I guess are made out of material, not just plastic. So do you have artificial ones? Do you have paper ones already? Do you only have real ones? Do you have a combination thereof? What kinds of flowers do you have in your house? My birthday flowers finally gave out. My mother kept them going for about a month. She is really good about, you know, cutting the stems every month or every few days. So she can make a bouquet of flowers last a long time. And she made my birthday flowers last a whole month. Can you believe that? A whole month. That's pretty amazing. So yeah, because she changes out the water and she trims them up and does all that stuff that you're supposed to do that I usually didn't make time for. I would do it once or twice, but not. I've never kept a whole bouquet alive for a month. Have you? What's the longest you've had a bouquet of flowers last? So Missy says Jackie had artificial flowers for her wedding. They looked real. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Hi, Evangela. We are crafting. We are doing the paper bouquet kit. It's Kit Together Tuesday, so we're doing the paper kit. Kitting it today. Cute. And yes, Kathy, yes, it's cold and rainy here. Yes, it's cold and rainy. It is, let's see, it is 56 degrees here, Kathy. 56 degrees. Yeah, yesterday it was 87. Today it's 53. You have none. You have just house plants. Sometimes you'll pick up some at the grocery store. Yeah, my husband will periodically bring home flowers. And I love that. We had our anniversary, no flowers. But like I said, my birthday flowers lasted almost to my anniversary. So he got lucky. All right, so we're going to take this one and curl it around like that. And we're going to do that together. Then we're going to pull it over here. Whoop. So this is probably your trickiest part, is just getting this wire to go around. And so you can see I haven't quite figured out the best way to do it yet. We'll see if by the end of doing these, if I've got it. Let's see. I'm going to hang on to the bead and see if that helps. Here we go. So you just need it to wrap around one time. Nothing fancy. All right, just one time. And, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I've been doing it like this, so that doesn't really matter. All right, so let's do one of these short ones. Here we go. Might have to look back at my instructions since I'm not doing it per the flower. All right, so I'm just doing a bunch of these. So we're gonna just do the flower or the greenery, the inside. Gosh, can't talk and concentrate at the same time. This one's gonna be a little wonky. Let's see how it works. No, it's still gonna work. There we go. Still going to work. Do you know how to get rid of all the strings from the hot glue? Is there even a way to not have these strings? I don't know. Because, you know, like I've said, hot glue guns are not my forte. I've used them. I've made wreaths. I've done other things with them. There was one other kit that we had that required hot glue gun. Oh, you know what? It required a hot glue gun. That wreath one, and I had Natasha make it. She burnt her fingers a couple times. She was not a happy camper. But she did a really great job on it. And now it's no longer available, although I think I have a couple of them. So if you want that wreath one, I still have a couple of them. That was a great kit. It was also flowers, just as a wreath instead of as a bouquet. So I think that will do it for this one. Oh, a little too far. Oh well, that's okay. So we're going to have to, once this is set, we're going to have to turn it up because the flower, you can see, is going to be off to the side. So then we can just angle the wire however we want it to go. That's the beauty of these, I think. So let's see. Let's go back to the first flower, which I think was this one. Which one did we do? The first flower. That was this one. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take these petals and we're going to take our bone folder, and you want to just very gently, you wish you were here. It's hot there. Oh, Kathy, yeah, I understand, but it was 87 yesterday. I don't know what hot is to you. 87 was a little bit toasty. I'm not used to it anymore. So one side is kind of textured and one side is kind of shiny. So I'm thinking that the shiny is probably the inside. So, but you don't want to curl these too much because then they're going to shrink the flowers up, right? So the picture shows them like this. So you want to curl them a little bit, but not too much. Not too much. So we're going to take this and we're going to just carefully curl it, just lightly. All right, not too much, just a little bit. See how it just has a slight curl to it. All right, just a slight curl, not too tight. So I've got the kind of textured dull side as the outside, and I've got the shiny side as the inside. So you can see how that's just lightly curled, very lightly. All right, these are got a little damaged. So, but you know, petals sometimes come damaged, right? You can't get a perfect flower. I got all this glue stuff. So here we go. And just lightly. All right, see how they're just lightly curling up. Not too much, because otherwise you're just gonna, it's gonna look like the ribbon. It's just gonna be all curled in. All right, so let's take a look at how to put these on. So you have your glue, your glued center up there. You're going to be putting these on. It shows a glue. So after you put it on, you're going to put glue, then put the other one on, put glue, put the other one on, put glue, and then you're going to put your little green ending. All right, so here we go. We got this one. It's all nice and cooled off now, so I can touch it. We're going to go ahead and put this in the hole here. Now, before I put it all the way up, I got to put glue on there. See, that's why it was no big deal that there was glue. We're going to put glue on here. Like that. And then we're going to, I'm going to drop it down like that. All right, I'm going to drop it right onto that glue. And I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and kind of set it that way. All right, and that way I don't have to burn my finger. Take Your Pick tool to the rescue. All right, so I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put glue down here. I think doing this upside down is a really great idea. Instead of trying to push them up, let them fall down. Now with this one though, I don't want it to fall in exactly the same place. I want it to be offset. So you want to make sure that you have it offset. And then Take Your Pick tool to the rescue. Oh man, this makes me love the Take Your Pick tool that much more. Holy cow. Man, Missy, if you didn't think you loved it before, try this and you will love it that much more. Oh my goodness. I am so happy that I thought about grabbing my Take Your Pick tool. She did not mention that. She mentioned the needle nose pliers and the bone folder for curling. But yeah, that's brilliant. There we go. Want to make sure we've got enough. Probably too much. There we go. Couldn't seem to get it on the other side. All right, and then we're going to take this bottom piece and push it down. Take Your Pick tool to the rescue. And had I not touched that center, I would have no glue on the outside. All right, you ready for the reveal? Ta-da! All right, so you can do that. Let's see, how is this one supposed to look? It almost looks like this one should have been curled more. Where's the picture? Here's our picture. Yeah, I guess you could curl it a little bit more once you're here from the center. I just did the petals. I didn't think about the center, but that works too. So then if it's not curled as much as you want it to be, you can touch it up once you get it on. And I think that's a better idea than over curling it when it's flat. All right, so you can curl it up more. And it may be that one of them you curl a little tighter and one of them you leave a little flatter. Let's see. There we go. This makes me think of my poppies. My alarm for this live is going off. Apparently I was doing it before at 1:30 and I moved it up to 12:30. All right, so there is one of our flowers. You can kind of pull this out if you want with your fingers to kind of rough it up and curl it down a little, curl it open. But there you go. There is one flower that looks almost like a poppy. All right, let's do the flower with the yellow. Which one had the yellow? That would be this big one. All right, so we're going to take this one and I'm going to kind of straighten it out a little bit more. All right, we're going to curl these. These are bigger petals, so again, just be careful about curl. See, look how much that curled. That's probably too much curl. There we go. There we go. That's a lot of curl. And this one has 3. This is the shiny side. Did I do the shiny side? Ooh, I did the shiny side, not even paying close attention to that. There we go. So let's set them down flat and see how much they curl. See how much curl you want to have. Okay? You decide. Your flowers, your way. All right, so here we go. Here we go. There we go. All right, so again, we're going to drop it down. So we're going to put glue on here. This one's going to be a little off center, but I'm okay. I'm still working on figuring out that bead. All right, and take a pick tool. Pull this over a little bit. There we go. And then more glue. And remember, when you have multiple petals, you want to make sure to offset it. All right, because if you offset it, then you won't have them all in the same place. So we have this one going this way. All right. Oop. It turned on me. There we go. Turn. There we go. Stick it down. I'm loving this take your pick tool, girls. This is awesome. Glue strings are the worst. Yeah, right? All right, so I'm going to get this one ready this time because I forgot to do that last time. We'll have it at my fingers. Oh, look at that. It turned. All right, well, now we have one more at least to fix that with. And now we can make sure that this one does not turn so that it covers those edges. There we go. Sticking it down. All right, and then we have our little green bottom. Is there a name for the green bottom? I know it's just what was part of the bud, which was around it. But is there a name for that? Is it just the bud leftovers? I don't know. I remember learning about the stamen and all that kind of stuff, but I don't remember a name for the bud. So let's see how. Oh, that turned too. This one's not cooperating the way that other one was. So I'm just kind of turning it with this hand and then, all right. So, oh, that one worked out pretty good. There's a few where it's like right on it. So when I do the other flowers, I'll make sure to pay closer attention to that. And then I want to just kind of open that up a little bit, I think. I kind of like the idea of having it a little more open. So I'm just going to do that with it. All right, so cute. This one could probably be curled up a little more. All right, so there's flower 2. Let's take a look at flower 3. Again, we're gonna do this, and then I see this is gonna be sticking out and probably breaking or bending that, tearing the paper. So let's see if we can get it to flatten out. There we go. All right, and here we go. This was for, which one? This was for, must be this one. Because that's the only one that doesn't have all the rest of the ingredients. So we're going to do this. I have a second chance with a 3-petal flower to get it not lined up, right? So here we go. So you can see the value in laying it out by flower ingredients. You can see the value in doing one thing at a time or one flower at a time if you want. All right, but don't get overwhelmed by it. Just do it bit by bit. So that doesn't have a bead. Did I forget to put a bead on there? I must have, because I don't have any floating around. All right, so again, we're going to turn it over. I think having it fall down is way easier. Come on. Having it fall down seems to be way easier to me than pushing it up. And of course, if you push it up, then you have more chance of burning your fingers. I'm going to put this one that I curled quite a bit on there first. All right, like that. And again, might take your pick tool. And then more glue around strings. Then the next one, which I should probably have ready to go. And this is one of those where I got to make sure that it's covering those edges. There we go. That one worked out better than that last flower. So you do, when you're doing your knot, you do want to make sure, or your bead, you do want to make sure that it's kind of centered. All right, so that like that first flower, we had it bent so that when we were putting this on, it wasn't off center, but that's looking pretty cool anyways. So make sure that you do kind of have it centered. There we go. And it works better to have it ready to go than trying to put it on once you have the hot glue on, because then you don't take the chance of the hot glue cooling too quick. All right, and then we'll go like this. Ooh, somehow I caught myself on that. There we go. All right, and oh, I didn't grab a green thingy for that one. Was there a green thingy? There was a green thingy. All right, let me grab one of the little green thingies. All right, so we'll get this ready to roll. Get our glue on here. Just kind of turning it with the other hand. This is really working very well. Like once you get a system down, it's going to go easier. Hi, Joanne. Yep, better late than never. There we go. And plop that right on there. All right. I like it. So just to show you, we have 3 flowers. All right, pretty simple. You know, they came together pretty easy overall. I didn't really burn myself much at all. And then you have this leaf that you can put in there. And now remember, with the leaves, you can also kind of bend this out a little bit so that when you're putting it with it, it kind of goes away from the flower like that. Let me zoom back out for you. And so there's those leaves. There's this one. And there's, whoop, this one. Oop, I got it curved the wrong way. All right. So there is our little mini bouquet. I'm going to have to keep going at another time and finish these flowers, and then I'm going to give them to my mom because she's going to then have a beautiful bouquet for all times. Well, you know, until they get too dirty and dusty and she decides that it's time to go. But knowing her, if she can make real flowers last a month, she probably can make these last a long time too. She'll probably blow them off or dust them or something like that, right? So Missy says the green leaf-like parts at the base of a flower, which were part of the bud, are called sepals or sepals. Collectively, they are known as the calyx. Sepals protect the developing flower bud and its inner parts before it blooms. See, I can always trust Missy to find the answer. She's awesome. Thank you, Missy. Sepals. All right, so you have all your green sepals, and it's easier to just drop everything on it. So once you do your center, I would just drop everything down. I don't know if you noticed, that just was way easier than the idea of pushing it up and having to hit that hot glue every time. With dropping it down and then using the take your pick tool to push it down onto the glue, I didn't burn my fingers as much as I normally do. So there you go. I'm going to call it for today because I don't want to keep you on forever. I highly recommend you give this a whirl if you have a glue gun. If you don't own a glue gun, then you have to decide if that's worth it. Could you do it with glue dots? Probably. Would it take a little bit longer? Probably, because you'd have to put the glue dots at every center. Could you do it with green glue? Maybe. Maybe. I didn't design it, so I would think that they would know. So the hot glue is probably going to last longer, all right? And, but if you don't have hot glue and you really want to do this, try it with glue dots or the green glue. I wouldn't use it with paper, with the tape runner, with any sort of Stampin' Seal or tape runner, because that's going to tear up your tissue paper. Remember, this is really fine paper. It's thicker than tissue paper, but not much. All right, and then like this leaf is crepe paper. All right, but these are pretty delicate. You saw me pulling them apart, so they're pretty delicate, and so I would not use tape runner, but you could give green glue or glue dots a whirl. Let us know how it works. I happen to have a glue gun, so I went ahead and used it. That's what the directions call for. But that doesn't mean that's the only way to do it. All right, so this would make a great Mother's Day gift. Yes, it came out before Mother's Day with probably that idea in mind, but my husband brought my mom and I a bunch of roses, or a bunch of flowers, a variety of flowers, bouquets home, and then she put them all together. Or we got her a big bouquet. I don't remember. No, hold on. No, my brother bought my mom a big bouquet of flowers. I picked it up from the flower shop. You can get a whole lot more flowers for the same amount of money that he got at the flower shop at Costco. So for my birthday, I got 4 different bouquets of flowers from Costco, and my mom made one giant bouquet for me. It was awesome. And it wasn't all purple. It was mostly purple, but it was also some berry burst pink in there and some white. So yeah. So yeah, thanks Google. But thank you, Missy, because you looked it up. All right, so Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it, ladies, for joining me, Joanne and Kathy and Missy. I love having you on here, and Evangela. I appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Let's see. That'll be Thursday for Thunderstruck Thursday. See you then. Bye-bye.